I may have forgotten to unmute us.
Unbelievable. You know I'm gonna have to edit that, right? Okay, can you hear me now? Yeah. Cameron didn't fucking unmute us. All right. Welcome everyone.
But like, let's be honest, yeah, we had a really nice soundtrack, and we just needed an extra 10 seconds.
Unbelievable. All right. Well, as I was saying, welcome everyone to episode one, officially episode one of the Hall of Gamers podcast with myself, Neomaster, Matt, and one Shadowless Edge, Cameron. How you doing, mate?
Hello. How are we?
I can see some people in the chat getting very excited. Cobra Todd is spamming like no other, and Charlotte. Well. Sure, Charlotte is also joining us. Thank you for joining us. This week we're probably going to talk a little bit about Cyberpunk, our favorite punching bag. There's a little bit going on in the game space with Netflix, and Elgato seems to have some really bad timing when it comes to announcing things.
That was.
Yeah, but first, without any further ado, Cameron's going to seamlessly transition us to an amazing song of the week that I've done.
Look, I didn't say anything about seamlessly. I said, like, transition.
Okay.
But let's just see how this goes. All right. Let's do this, and let's do that. And just want to toot my own horn for a second here. I really like this. I really like this a lot. But yeah, let's get in the song of the week.
On the leaderboard. Somehow I made it to the top. Didn't know how good I was until I forgot my pop. What a streak, incomplete. I had 12, now I'm back to 1, but I had a good run. Yeah, I had a good run of earning that score. Like a streaker, achieving for the very first time. Like a streaker, when your ranking's less than mine.
And then, sweet.
Excellent. All right, so that's a nice, easy one. I want to say thank you to Charlotte for sending in the lyrics and idea for that one. I made a couple of tweaks to it, but she's really the brainchild of that. If you guys want to send in ideas for Song of the Week, you can do either on the Discord or send it to us on Discord. Usually the best place to do it, or our email. We'll give out all of our socials and stuff at the end of the show. So Cameron, well, yeah, Charlotte, you can't guess it. You wrote it.
So is it like a Virgin by Madonna?
God fucking damn it.
Look, I'll be honest, yeah? I knew who sang it. I knew it was Madonna, but I was blanking on the name. Even though,
okay, all right.
Even though I passed the headset to Nikita probably like half an hour ago and asked her, what is this song?
All right. You know what? You get partial credit for that. I mean, the community's allowed to help you out with. That's what they're there for. But yes, it was Like a Virgin by Madonna.
You know, ever since the Baby Shark debacle, it was like, let's get the Twitch stream like going, just so I had a lifeline.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, hey, you phone a friend, 50-50, like whatever you need, really. And you know, like I said in last week's sort of test episode that we did, the best thing about Song of the Week is that I sing it so poorly that there's no way we're going to be copyright striked for any of that. There's no way the bots are going to pick any of that up. So
100%. So saying that, I hope you like the new template. I was messing around with it. I really wanted to get the old like 360 or the original Xbox Media Player kind of look, but I can't find like any decent high quality pictures.
Yeah, I need to get that old the spinning circles and weird psychedelic shit going on. But yeah, if you guys are looking at it, Cameron's done some amazing work. Obviously, this doesn't play at all for our audio listeners, but check out the VOD if you've missed it live. But Cameron has done some incredible work on our overlays and transitions, and we've got some music and all that kind of stuff. So it's going really, really well. We're only going to be getting better going forward. So feedback's always appreciated. But you know, give Cameron some love because he's been putting a lot of work into this over the last couple of weeks. All right. Well, with the self-aggrandizing out of the way, let's get into the housekeeping. Discord. So we're all on the GPN Discord. We've got our own little section for our Hall of Gamers, where we have the podcast, a place for questions, a Patreon channel, basically the same as what we did at RGS. The GPN Discord is discord.io/GPNGG. So that's GPNGG. That's where you can find us. And our patrons will automatically be added to the channel as you join. Speaking of Patreon, we're making a few changes. We've got to work out some stuff with the tiers to sort of convert it over from what we were doing on RGS. But basically, things are going to pretty much remain the same for now, but we'll let you know once we have any changes. And also, we've decided to make all 4 of the original episodes of Lights, Camera, and Action free to listen to. We're going to start the series up again soon once we've got everything set up now. So let us know what you want to watch in that chat. Patrons, of course, it's a Patreon-only show. But if you do like what's on there, you can always check us a couple of bucks, and we'll be hosting those every couple of weeks or so. I think is the plan.
Yeah, I do want to, and I'm like really strong on this idea. Have a Patreon watch night once a month.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we absolutely want to be doing that too for just movies in general. It's just going to be more of a logistics challenge because obviously I'm in New Zealand, Cameron's in Australia. So we obviously want to cater.
That's the biggest time difference jump in the world. Like that's the thing that's holding us back from doing that.
Well, I mean, also like I have basically no life, and you've got a kid and stuff, so it's like you have people with the responsibilities. I just can't fucking believe it. But we'll make it work. And again, the Patreons, they help keep the show running. Now that we've moved away from RGS, we're funding a lot of this stuff out of our own pocket. So it's we have a lot of setup costs in terms of platform changes over and stuff like that, and even we're now using Zoom for our video calls and things like that. So again, the Patreons really make this happen, and we really appreciate all of them.
Saying that too, the Zoom's been like perfect so far.
Fantastic, it's good. I'm physically plugged into my router now, and I did a speed test. So last week I was running at about 250 megabits per second. The minute I plugged into it and tested it, that hit 990.
I hate you I hate you so much.
That's so really, I think I need to start running cables across the house because this is fucking great.
Legitimately, like at my last property, I probably had like 3 or 4 5-meter LAN cables going around the house. Like it's not the worst idea in the world, unless you start having kids walk around. That's when you need to just duct tape.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, like, do I run them along the skirting board, or do I like run them across the ceiling, or whatever? I mean,
it's your house. It's your choice.
This is true. But yeah, like the router is literally right here. That's also my kitchen. And I've also being looked over by Empire Sloth in the background there. So I'm in good company, but this is a very strange, again, this is completely different to where I usually record, but I got to be close to the router because we've got to have that good connection.
100%.
All right. We have anything else we wanted to talk about?
I guess the plans going forward is this is officially episode 1, but this is still pretty much a test stream at this point, just to get everything working, giving Audacity the boot after the recent news. Just stuff like that. And then pretty much from this, start getting guests on again. And with that,
yes.
We want your feedback. We want to know, we want to get people outside of the achievement hunting community and people inside the achievement hunting community that we haven't approached before.
Exactly, yeah. We want to talk to the people that you guys want us to talk to. And we want to get into the nitty-gritty about how people play video games and why they do it, as opposed to just going through a list of what they've been playing that week and having some snarky takes on the news, because that's our job.
And how how completionists should be put in the DSM moving forward.
Wow, I'm gonna have to talk to my therapist about that. Unbelievable.
Just different takes on different kinds of hunting. Hey,
mate, I've seen your completion percentage, and I've seen the stuff you've been diving.
It's
mate.
Going
up. If anyone needs to be in a psych ward, it's you.
It's going up. I'm on like 34.1% now.
34.
It was like 33.9.
It's disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself. All right. I guess for those who missed the last episode and don't know what the fuck this is, because we are hoping to get some new listeners, Cameron and I are both part of the Xbox Hall of Fame. Him for Australia, me for New Zealand. And we originally did a show called RGS. We talked a little bit about it in our previous episode, but we had some technical issues, so I understand if not everyone wants to go back and listen to that. But the long and short of it is we're crazy about achievement hunting, and we love the whole art form and the interesting stuff. And we really want to see where it goes, and we also just love talking about it. And it's an interesting lens for us to look at video games. We've got a question here
I'm just waiting.
Mr. Martel.
I'm waiting for the S rank question.
Yeah. So Martel has come in and asked if you want to play Saw 4 Wave 30 Survival.
Is that Streets of Rage 4?
Yes, I think that is Streets of Rage 4. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, like, maybe. Not this weekend, but definitely sometime during the week when we do the GTA heist.
Yes. So we need to get back to that because I'm gonna say we have been slacking. I'm not gonna name any names, but some people just have not been available for the big heist that we desperately need to get done.
Look, I was studying for a week, and then you had all week to ask me, and you didn't choose to. So that's true.
To be fair, I have actually been pretty busy this week, unfortunately. Not that I ever skive off work because I'm a very busy man. All right. Before I incriminate myself any further, let's get into the news. I want to start with the Cyberpunk story because it just I've been seeing it all over Reddit for the last couple of days, and it's made me laugh my ass off. So fans can't stop dunking on CDPR's fun Cyberpunk 2077 stats. So for those who don't know, Cyberpunk had been putting out some stats since they're like 6 months out from their launch, I think, or something.
When was it? December? Yeah, it's been 6
something like that.
It was December. I want to say 13th. Somewhere like it was mid-December.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so December 18 was kind of when they started having their issues, right? So they've started doing this new hashtag campaign, I guess, to try and remind people that Cyberpunk exists, which I don't think is the right move, but hey. So they've been doing this campaign called Cyberpunk in the numbers, where they're posting things like 23.5% of players have reached the maximum street cred level. Rogue will now to expand the afterlife, etc. Talking about like what players are doing in games, and like this is not the first time that developers have done this. They did this for I think Mass Effect. They did that when they talked a lot about stats and stuff. They don't usually post as many of them as Cyberpunk has here. They're pushing this as more of a marketing thing to try and remind people about things.
Usually the stats are more so internal, aren't they?
Exactly. Yeah. So sometimes they publicize some of them in terms of like how many people have played the game or unlocked an achievement. But this is obviously like they're trying to push a lot of the stuff around like what people are doing in the game to get people interested in it. But of course, this being the internet, people have taken to this very, very quickly with a bunch of GIFs that they have infographics that read something like $0 million spent on car and truck customizations because they promised those in the original trailer and comment, but never actually put them in the game. Players have modified their appearance of their bodies 0 times. 0 bullets have been fired from player vehicles while in open world. 0% of players have ridden on the subway. So there's a whole lot of them all over Reddit. It's very, very funny. And the best thing about them is when you click on them to play them, they have the graphical stuff and the music in the background starts off as the Cyberpunk music and then goes into the Cyberpunk theme being played on a recorder, which is this. Like I've seen it like 10 times now and it still makes me laugh every time.
I saw it and it just made my skin crawl on my back. Just how bad that recording.
It's so bad. But yeah,
I must ask because you're the one who brought this to my attention. Have they, doing the whole marketing course at the moment, have they done any proper infographics like all the other AAA titles go of breaking down the whole roadmap and all that? This is what this is this the next step or?
Well, they already had their roadmap out originally, right? They had the revised one for when these issues came through, saying, "Oh, hey, we're gonna release, patch 1.2 and 1.3 are going to be big patches that fix a lot of the game, and then we'll have DLC at this point." So that roadmap came out, I think, like sort of late December, early January, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
They've already missed a couple of the milestones on there, so and they haven't updated it since, and they're really behind on the numbers. Having said that, though, Cyberpunk made a shitload of money. I mean, in terms of like goodwill, CD Projekt Red have basically fucked themselves. But it's now finally it's back on the PlayStation Store. One of the infographics was that it spent 152 days off of the PlayStation Store. So I thought it was a good one.
You know what though? It's already in PlayStation's best selling.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like the thing is that like it's still huge, and like it's a really interesting game. But I think the more people play it, the less impressed they are with it. And basically, when they came out with it, saying that if you there like the information on when they re-released it to PlayStation basically said, don't play this on a standard PlayStation, play this on a Pro or a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Which is like crazy. So like instead of like I get it, but it's just anyway, we've beaten that horse over and over about how fucking disappointing that game was and like how much of a train wreck it was on every level. It's a real shame because like I'm like even as like an open world Deus Ex game, it kind of fails at that as well in terms of animations and customization and all the stuff that they talked about in Promise just got stripped out and pared back until they dealt with placeholder assets and T-posing fucking Johnny Silverhands and it's a fucking mess.
I mean the one that interests me the most is like the fact some of the missions have gun like you can shoot from the vehicles, but it doesn't happen in an open world.
No, so they basically they've hard coded that into the missions themselves where you can do that, but apparently you just can't do it in the main game.
Which is very interesting to me because
I mean, like GTA's been doing that since fucking like GTA Vice City. Like, come on.
It makes me wonder because you compare something like that to GTA 5, that runs relatively okay still in 360. It's just very, very long to load up.
Oh yeah, I mean, like you could tell that it's running on last gen hardware, and it doesn't look nearly as good as it used to, but it still works well enough. Like we're still able to play it and have a pretty good time with it, even though it's not the sharpest visually, but like in terms of mechanics and everything, the game's the same. Yeah,
the mechanics are like pretty solid. I think like we might have one invisible wall, every couple of hours, but.
Sometimes, but again, like I had some major issues with it once and I restarted the game and it was fine. It's just really those load times. But the fact that it's not backwards compatible also sucks a lot, but that's Rockstar for you, I suppose.
Yep, 100%.
Which is weird because they made Red Dead backwards compatible. I don't know why, I know why they didn't do GTA because they were selling it, but they also didn't do Max Payne 3, which I'll talk a little bit about in the games I've been playing this week.
I mean, like, it'd be interesting if they'd done a Red Dead remaster instead, but
I mean it's probably not too far off, to be honest. I mean they're going to need something. I saw there was a news article basically coming out that GTA 6 is apparently going to be set in modern day Vice City, but isn't coming out till like 2025.
2024 2025, which is very interesting.
Fucking insane.
But you think of like the amount of money that when did GTA 5 come out? I want to say 2013.
Yeah, it would have been 2013.
Yeah,
2013.
So that game's been running for 8 years now.
8 years.
And they're only just shutting down the servers this December for 360, which is...
Yeah, it's insane. And they're also going to be re-releasing it on the current gen consoles because they just cannot milk that franchise enough. It just makes them too much money.
Yeah.
All right, let's have a look at our other story here about Netflix, which I'm of a couple minds about.
So yeah, I was. You said the news story first, and then I'll go into my thoughts.
Okay, so Netflix is apparently creating some games to add to their streaming service. Now, this isn't the first time that they've had quote unquote games. Or talked about games as part of it, right?
That's what I wanted to ask you because I thought that was the case with the Telltale series.
Yeah, they were doing the Minecraft stuff, right? I don't know where that even got to, but yeah, it's in there. And like they were talking about like the whole Bandersnatch thing with Black Mirror that was supposed to be like an interactive experience, and that's ended up being more what it was like. But this kind of sounds like I don't know. They've got some interesting talent that they've required for this, but they focus more on mobile titles. So they talked about Stranger Things, the game was a mobile title. I think that they also got ported to consoles as well.
Stranger Things is in like Stranger Things 3? Like the one that
I think so. Yeah,
that's in Game Pass.
Yeah, right. It's in Game Pass. Yeah. Um, yeah, it seems very strange. But again, they were talking about how when they're expanding, that their biggest competition is Fortnite, which makes perfect sense because like they're not talking about, and this is one of these marketing things, right? That they tell you is that when you define your competitors too narrowly, you basically like you miss the forest for the trees. The classic example they give is the railway industry in the US, where they were so busy competing with each other they didn't think about competing with land with air travel and sea freight and air freight.
Yeah,
because they weren't in the railroad business, they were in the transportation business. And Netflix is in the entertainment business, right? They're not in the movie TV business. And it's like anything that's taking eyes away and time away from their streaming service is the competitor. And Fortnite is one of those big ones that fucking people just cannot get away from. But apparently that they've done, there's the Black Mirror Bandersnatch stuff, and they've also done the Carmen Sandiego To Steal or Not to Steal, based on the sort of reboot series that they did of that, which was actually quite good. It's obviously for kids, but it's...
I haven't heard of that one. In terms of gaming, the furthest I've seen is like Minecraft and, like you said, Bandersnatch. I'm just trying to visualize how this would work. Yeah,
I don't know. I think that like from the people they've hired for this, it looks like it might be more of a mobile game kind of thing, where it's going to be like I'm not expecting to see the next Call of Duty being run on the Netflix platform, right? Like I think this is going to be more like low impact, like fucking Candy Crush style, like throwaway bullshit, to be honest. I mean, I might be wrong. I might be completely wrong. Because obviously Microsoft's seen big success with Game Pass and showing that a streaming service for video games is definitely doable. Although obviously, logistically it's a little bit different.
I mean, like, look, we've got two case examples. Yeah, we've got Stadia and we've got Game Pass.
True, and yeah. Yeah, so
yeah,
again, you've got an example and you've got a warning. So it's like, okay, I don't know. I mean, like, a subscription thing for games is not the weirdest thing anymore. It's just interesting to see that Netflix are thinking that they're going to be the ones to get in on it. But I mean, Amazon's doing that with Luna. Microsoft are already doing it. PlayStation are going to be doing it.
Is there anything going on with Luna? Because, like, to me, it just seems so, like, there's just no news around it.
Well, there's not really much to say, right? Like the reason that Game Pass works so well for Microsoft is that they can get stuff day and date, get exclusives, and they're also, they're owned by Microsoft. All of their AAA games come out day and date on their platform. That's when Amazon makes their one fucking game, they can do that on their service, but it doesn't make headlines when it's like, oh well, you're not going to get Halo and Forza and fucking Psychonauts and everything on Game Pass straight on the Luna service day one, because they don't make those games and they don't have those deals. And until they do, it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle. However, this is Amazon we're talking about, so we're probably going to be slaving away on the Jeff Bezos meteorite in probably the next 20 years anyway.
Every time I hear Jeff Bezos, all I can think of is Bo Burnham.
Yeah, exactly.
Like every single time I hear those two words, that song just automatically presses play in my head.
Yep. I'm totally with you. I was actually just listening to the soundtrack for Inside today. Actually,
that is such a good soundtrack.
Oh, it's so good.
It honestly feels like his last show, just on a more advanced and deeper level.
Absolutely.
Like,
yeah,
he knows how to say the words he's trying to get across now. But yeah. Anyway, cheers. I spent some time on
it. Thanks, gang. Cameron's been putting a lot of great time into it.
Also, I just wanted an excuse to show off awesome Kingdom Hearts screenshots.
Yes. I love Kingdom Hearts. I'm a total.
Oh, it's such a nostalgia trip. I'll get into that later though. Yeah, I don't know what else there is to say about Netflix other than, like Charlotte said, the only thing I can see this ending up at is like a Facebook level games service.
Yeah. I tend to agree. Let's wait and see what happens. I mean, like I have a Netflix subscription. Like I watch it occasionally. They've done good work in the animated space for video games in terms of turning them into series.
I was just about to say the exact same thing about that, and about the exact same thing about the Witcher series like that. And there's what else is coming out? They've got all the Ubisoft ones that I believe some of them partnered with Netflix.
Yeah, it was. Well, they've got a few other bits coming out, right? They've got the they just released the Resident Evil ones on there now, I think.
Yep.
With Capcom, they're going to do another season of Dragon's Dogma.
See, that's where I think their strength is, though. Like having that supplementary content in terms.
Sure,
of
and they do adaptation very, very well, right? And they're also getting quite a bit more into the animation scene on the Japanese side as well. I don't want to get too sidetracked because technically it's not video games, but I'm just gonna end it on. So I love all that stuff.
Castlevania, yep. Like I'm still watching it, but goddamn, there's got to be the best animation I've ever seen.
It's up there. It's one of the best shows I've seen in a long time in terms of animated shows. Although I also a big fan of Invincible.
That's true too. Yeah.
Yeah, although that's more story than anything. And also I'm looking forward to the spin-off they're doing with Richter. Anyway, let's move on to our next story about the Elgato thing, because this is just hilarious to me. You want to tell me about this? Because I didn't even make the connection until you pointed it out, because I'm an idiot.
So I was gonna say, what one technically launched first today? Was it the Stream Deck or was it the Steam Deck?
I think it was the Steam thing. I think because I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. It's same day, so yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty much two major announcements. Elgato announced all their new stream gear today.
Looks good.
Yeah, it looks really good. I mean, typical Elgato trying to, I guess, corner the market for that high quality.
Well, perceived high quality again.
Yeah.
Like it's the streamer brand thing, right? Whereas
I was trying to get us a sponsorship, and you just close that. Just close that door.
We're streamers. We're streamers, but also I'm not. I'll buy my own equipment.
Can somebody find me the clip from like 3 months ago where he said he would never stream? Please?
What are you talking about? I have a streaming account. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, let's get into it. So, Stream Deck, Elgato, typical, like just the next advancement of their streaming gear. Steam Deck. Now this is an interesting one.
Yeah. So essentially, it's a. It's nothing quote unquote new, right? Like this is something that has been done. For those who don't know, the Steam Deck is going to be a portable computer, basically, in terms of similar in
Switch
design
Pro.
to the Switch similar to the Switch Pro in terms of design. Controllers on the side, screen in the middle. Hold it like you're holding a giant an iPad at a concert. We've seen stuff like this with like the Nvidia Shield and a few other bits and pieces, but this is Valve's official thing that they're really trying to push. Dock mounts to your TV, as King points out in chat. Yeah, exactly.
It's funny that Steam actually had the guts to do what Nintendo couldn't, and release a pro version of. I mean, what was the statistics? It was like it was either the cores of the RAM was like half of what you'd find in a Series S, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Like I don't like it's definitely not the right fit for me, but I think that
the only thing that I couldn't wrap my hand around is 2 to 8 hours of battery life, depending.
Yeah, that's realistically what's going to happen, right? That's always going to be the problem, and I don't really see. I don't really see a use case for it, but I also don't leave the house all that often. So, it's kind of a no-go for me. Like I'm usually in front of my TV or my PC, so it's not a massive concern. And if it's only got 2 to 8 hours of battery life, like putting in a docked mode, you might as well just get a desktop and hook it up to a TV or something and play in big picture mode. I mean, having said that though, Gabe has come out and basically said that this thing, you can boot pretty much whatever you want on it. It's a computer. Like it's about as open as you can get. If
you really think about it, you could be playing this Halo, like playing Halo Infinite on launch on this thing. Depending if it launches in Steam, it is a PC though. It's not limited to the Steam OS in that sense.
No.
You could play. I believe IGN interviewed about them being able to play games from Epic Store.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it looks like basically they're being pretty agnostic about it, which is always been the Steam approach, right? They basically said, hey, we're gonna you could do whatever you want with it, but people are going to be able to bring over their existing Steam libraries, which is like that's the big feather, right? Like that's the thing is that you can now say, yeah, you could buy a Switch and rebuy all the indie games that you want. But realistically, you could just get this portable Switch-like device that has all of your games already on it, is more powerful, looks better, battery life's kind of shit. But outside of that, it'll run most of that stuff that you want to, and it docks up to your TV the same way the Switch does.
It'd be interesting to see how many people actually use their Switch in an outdoor setting compared to indoors.
Yeah.
Like if they had any kind of like, I don't know how you would measure that, but like any kind of statistics about people playing in docked mode versus handheld.
Sure. Yeah. Well, from what I've heard, it's pretty much like a 50-50 split.
Yeah.
I mean, like I don't like we've got a Switch here. I don't play it. Hey, Allison, what do you with the Switch? What do you think your percentage split is between like playing it docked and playing it handheld? Yeah, so for those who couldn't hear, she says mostly docked unless I'm hogging the TV, which is most of the time.
Whereas like with me, I've got a Switch as well. If I'm playing and Nikita just grabs Nikita doesn't want to take over the TV if I'm already watching something or already playing a game, she'll just grab the handheld mode and just go from that. It's no big deal.
Yeah, which makes sense.
But like the big thing for this is going to be the price point. If it's $399 US, it's probably going to be retailing around. What would that be? Australian. I would imagine it would be like 700. I imagine $699.
Yeah, $699 probably. Which is that's pretty competitive, to be honest.
For like a pro level.
I mean, yeah, for a pretty like a mid-level device, with that novelty factor and with the built-in library of all the games you already have. Like it's definitely going to be a competitive option.
Add in a few humble bundles.
Yeah.
Like boost up your Steam library. I know. I mean, like I wouldn't be surprised if, there are rumors going around about Game Pass coming to stuff like that. You can already access Game Pass if you can get outside the ecosystem.
Yeah, well, that's again, like King pointed out, that he'll use xCloud for the rest. And yeah, you could potentially be playing, assuming it'll be able to run a browser, I assume. So even if they don't have a native app on there, you still be able to run xCloud or.
I wonder then if we're going to get something more like official in terms of marketing from both Valve and Microsoft, because wasn't Gabe saying a few months ago, like hinting something with Microsoft?
Well, they've had a much closer partnership now, but I think that's also true for PlayStation, right? Like PlayStation also releasing their games on PC for the first time, and Xbox are definitely trying to. Xbox are making like Master Chief Collection is the perfect example, right? Like that came out on Steam, it's still very, very popular on Steam, and you could potentially play that through this.
I don't know if I've said it on a previous show, but like some of their top selling games at the moment are like Sea of Thieves, Halo, MCC. They've been basically securing that top spot in Steam. And I'm sure Steam will be happy because they're just going to be raking in money from, like, if something like Game Pass is utilized on their consoles, then it just rakes in money for them. Potentially. It's whether they're selling them at that kind of loss like the consoles do, or if they're actually making some money off it.
Yeah, because my other worry is that this is going to turn out, and Martel points out that Killer Instinct's also on Steam. Exactly. Like we're seeing a lot of that first-party stuff show up there. My main worry is that this is going to turn out like the Steam Machine did. Like, do you remember when? You remember when they were like, oh, well, you're going to have like console-style PCs that are really like set up with the Steam OS, and they'll have big picture mode enabled, and it'll be really easy to use. And we're going to have a bunch of different ones that you could buy, all built by different designers and stuff like that. And it just completely flopped because they were too expensive. They were even more expensive than standard pre-builts, and they were just branded all over the place. And everyone was like, "What? Who is the market for this?"
Yeah.
And that is my worry with this. Is like, is there a big enough market of people who are interested, who have a Steam library or interested in Steam, as opposed to say the Switch, which is probably going to be their main competitor in terms of mobile.
Well, I guess on a Vex diagram, like how much of a crossover is there between those two areas?
Exactly, right. Like Alison's got a Switch, but I don't see her buying one of the instead of the Switch going for this because it's more powerful, right? She got the Switch because she wants to play the Nintendo exclusives. Like the software is the more important part. So like this feels to me more like it's going to be an extension for people who already have a Steam library, who already have like a big grunty PC, and they just want a bit more versatility. Sometimes they have to leave their basements and climb up, on hands and knees through the Cheeto dust and the empty Mountain Dew bottles and the poop socks to just occasionally surface into the light. And just in case they need to get that hit for playing, their 100 millionth run of Binding of Isaac, they've got it there on their Switch machine.
Quick sidetrack. Have you watched Beluga's Discord mods series on YouTube?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Look that up after, because that's exactly what I visualize. Like, just it's another level. It's so stupid, but just so funny. Like those 2-minute clips. He's forming a whole narrative around him. But anyway. Yeah, I'll be interested. Like, purely, I'm the exact same with the reason I have a Switch is for those exclusives. And I was just thinking, I don't know what sadistic kind of mind I was in just then. Just like, we're gonna have Banjo on Switch before we have it on Xbox. It's gonna happen.
I fucking hope
and then
not.
I was like, sad.
Well, yeah.
But anyway.
But I'll be watching this with interest. Again, it's not really my kind of thing. I am potentially looking at building a PC if we're going to be now that we're part of GPN and doing more streaming stuff and more content. That I probably want to have a dedicated streaming computer that I'll probably play some games on occasionally. But like I don't see myself rushing out to get one of these when I can just use my laptop or my phone for the xCloud streaming stuff for Xbox anyway, which is really what I care about.
I'm just reading that comment about the Switch for Animal Crossing, and I was just trying to think, like, I wonder how much lockdown has impacted their, Switch sales. Especially Animal Crossing came out right at the beginning, right?
Yep, came out last March, and still hugely successful. I can see Alison playing it right now, and she's giving me the finger, which I don't know why. I'm
What have you done?
Now she's giving me a thumbs up, so she's just mixed messages all over the place.
Hi, Alison. Chat, everybody say hello to Alison.
Everyone says hi, Alison.
Hi, everyone. I got kicked off stream because it was messing with Steve.
Yeah, I told her she can't watch the stream because she slows everything down.
But how are we meant to know, random people that are not your girlfriend in the chat now?
Yeah, exactly.
What are we meant to do? But
yeah, exactly. But you're 100% right. Like the lockdown obviously affected that. Like it was the perfect timing for that. And Charlotte says she has over 600 hours in Animal Crossing.
That's crazy.
During the lockdown.
Like I thought, going back to 2014 September, when Destiny 1 came out, I got 800 hours up in that game, and I barely got any game score. Like if you look at my chart, it goes straight up, dips doesn't dip, but stagnates 2015, and then just goes directly up again. Yeah. Just because of that one game, but.
Yeah, that's all it takes, right? So the exclusive is really going to be the thing, and Steam's going to have to sell itself on its accessibility and the library that they have, as opposed to the exclusives that they can get, because that's not what they do, right? I don't think you're going to be able to hook up a VR headset up to this.
You can. I was reading into that as well.
Oh, really?
You can, but it's not intended. It's obviously not what it's intended for.
Sure. Yeah, I can imagine that would probably be a bit of a sickening experience with that low frame rate.
Oh yeah. Your div is my all-time mum. All right. I'm not saying that to make anybody feel bad. I'm just
you guys are trash and you should get good.
This is why we have a leaderboard now, so we can just constantly prop ourselves up. That's exactly it.
Unfortunately, when we get to the leaderboard, we aren't on it, but that's fine. All right, let's get into our last story here. We'll just quickly touch on this.
I'm just gonna say, fuck you, Martel. I will get it done. It won't be anytime soon. All right, yeah, let's get into the fourth story.
So Phil Spencer said that he's worried about the loss of video game history. In a recent interview, he was talking. He's basically put a call out to game makers to preserve the things that got us to where we are today. End quote.
100% yes. The first thing I thought of when you sent me this was Age of Mythology.
Yeah. It's kind of like just kind of disappeared, right? It's gone.
It was. I think it was something to do with like DirectX. Like there was compatibility issues carrying it over. I've never really worried about Steam, and then just that whole section made me drop off it.
Yeah, and just kind of looking through it, and you read through it. Okay, you're like, obviously the idea here is that old books and old movies are really easy to find and are maintained, and if you want to find a first edition of something, it's probably pretty hard, but you can still do it. When it comes to video games, game creators and publishers and developers have basically been really, really bad in terms of preserving stuff for future generations. Source codes get lost all of the time. Things aren't preserved well. Things are overwritten or thrown out. People have a nostalgia for retro consoles and games and that sort of stuff, but the future is kind of looking like this. It's going to be less of a thing, right? Like if you're looking at obviously Microsoft are going to be talking about this because they have a strong backwards compatibility message about maintaining access to the original Xbox 360 One and the Series. But you look at something like things being live services and even Game Pass. Like Game Pass is in many ways making game ownership a thing of the past for a lot of people, myself included. I just don't buy games anymore for the most part. Even if I wasn't, buying games to try and save money, like the Game Pass makes things so handy, and the way I play through games is just like, well, what's the point? Like I don't need to buy the games, but it also means that if those things ever get removed from Game Pass or removed from the server, and there aren't physical versions of them, those things are just lost forever potentially. Like there isn't like a lot of these developers don't have processes in the works or in mind when doing this stuff to preserve these things for future generations. It's just not a consideration.
That's why I'm like with the achievements, for example, I'm big on the whole X or Y unlock thing like Andromeda has. As like at least, it might be like doing an insane playthrough of the game on single player difficulty, story, or it could be completing 5 multiplayer missions if the servers do go down. It's like it's very stacked against like one achievement against the other in terms of like the requirements, but you still have that option there. Yeah. I don't know. There's something I want to say, but I don't know if I'm allowed to say in terms of the stuff in terms of achievements that I told you the other day.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's just.
But I'll if I get some news about that in the future, there might be some more.
Yeah, let's not start any fires until we know that there's
it's happening.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to slip and suddenly Rohan shows up on my doorstep. But he was talking about the example that Phil Spencer gave was I was thinking about the Paley Center for what they did for TV. Paley early on saw that TV industry was getting ready to literally throw away all the tapes of old TV shows. So they would you do like the Ed Sullivan show, and they would just be like, nah. You're like, well, we don't want to store this stuff because physical media takes up a lot of space. So let's just throw this shit away. And he was like, hey, maybe we should archive some of this stuff because maybe someone wants to go back in, 50 years, 60 years and want to watch the Ed Sullivan show. You want to see that. You want to see Elvis on the Ed Sullivan show for the first time.
Wasn't there stuff like Doctor Who, the earlier seasons as well?
Yep. Yeah, like a lot of that stuff, like the BBC especially just got rid of a lot of their old stuff back in the day because they were just like taking up space and no one cares about it.
Warner Brothers had like a whole... what was it, like a fire in like one of their warehouses? And they lost a whole bunch of media?
And because the stuff's just not backed out, like it's just a bit of a nightmare because you're like, well, like what are you gonna like if you're not preserving the stuff, like how are people gonna even learn from it or even know that it existed? And yeah, but Todd points out the VHS would be the worst. Like a lot of that stuff, a lot of the physical media deteriorates. And yeah, King points out here that they should just start releasing game source of code for free if they're going to get rid of it. Like that's basically the right answer, right? Like they just make it open source, right? Just make it a GitHub repository to say, hey, here's the source code for this game that we don't want to store anymore, and just keep it on the internet for all of time. Like, what's the worst that could happen? Someone uses it to make a new game? Oh no! Like,
you know who that wouldn't fly with? Nintendo.
Yeah, well, obviously, like Nintendo are fucking terrible about this stuff. But like no video game company is blameless. Like, this is definitely something that's going to become more of an issue going forward now that we're moving away from physical. I'm just hoping that as we move to almost 100% digital, that we are still thinking about this preserving stuff. I mean,
Microsoft's making it so that they're I'm trying to think of what the proper term is for it, but essentially the Windows and the Xbox are the exact same source code in terms of game. Like,
in terms of infrastructure, but basically, the kernel's basically the same, that they can run. They can basically there's compatibility all the way through as much as possible, which is definitely the right approach, right? But it needs to be more than Microsoft. Like, that's the thing, is that we need to see developers making sure that this is a thing going forward, and that there's at least thought given to it, because so often it's just like, well, the game's done, we're never going to think about this again. And then sometimes, like you get like Konami are the worst example when they came to Silent Hill 2 and 3 when they were doing the HD collection. They were like, oh yeah, we lost like the original source code for the final version of it, so we had to use like a shitty old version of it that wasn't complete and just kind of patch it up. Also, there's no mist and everything looks like shit. And also, like the voice acting, we put new voice actors in, but instead of taking the old voice actors out, we just made them really, really quiet so you can't hear them, but you still can hear them.
I swear that's Valek's favorite thing to hate on.
Yeah, he's 100% right.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, I'm interested to see what. I mean, it is a bit funny that Phil is saying this when Game Pass is basically like the death of the physical game and digital game ownership. But
it's not the case though. Like, there's more. Like, in terms of physical, yes, but that's been the trend for how long now? Like, we had the conversation years ago, like whether brick and mortar stores like EB and that, where they're going to end up.
Well, I mean, they're all being turned into Zing crossover stores and selling pop vinyls and other shit that no one cares about.
I mean, in ANZ, yes, that's true, but I haven't looked into how they're going ever since the whole
the GameStop thing.
Yeah.
Wow, I mean, they gave them a new lease on life, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, jeez, that was it.
Yeah.
It's been an interesting couple of years.
Oh yeah, and it'll be an interesting few more as we head into the water wars and Mad Max becomes less of a fun movie and more of a documentary.
Look, I'd really like to go back to that documentary when they get the server working again for that one achievement. That is a great game. That's just that one achievement.
Oh, it's a pretty good game. I quite liked it.
Yes, that's pretty much in terms of news. Okay.
So yeah, a little bit going on this week. But let's get into what you've been playing. I will go first because I just want to get my stuff out of the way, because I have been, as I said in the Discord announcement, I hope we get some good questions because I've been fucking playing nothing good.
Martel, I swear to God, if it's just like, when are you going to S-rank Xenocrisis, I no regrets, just out, banned.
Time him out. We'll get Charlotte to do it. Yeah, so I've been playing cleanup. So it's been, I got the itch. I saw so many people playing a lot of really shit games, and with all the Zit updates, I decided that I should probably go back and clean up some of the games. I've only started like 5 Zidlon games, and that was all before the updates started becoming a thing. Once I heard about the updates, I didn't really want to do any more of them.
Yeah.
So did 5 Zit games, the title updates for them, and then I also played 3 terrible visual novels.
I was going to say, with the Zit games, did you have any of the broken achievements, like Castle and No Escape, or?
So I have, yeah. So Castle and No Escape's the only one that I can't do. So I'm waiting for them to fix that. But I did Castle and No Escape 2, 50 Years. I had 2 title updates for Reactor X, and I think that's it. I think I'm missing one. But yeah, it's just been, whatever. They're just trash and basically scorehound.
What do you mean? Like 50 years is like one of the best games I've ever played. Actually,
I mean, like
I got to say, in terms of like simple, like mindless fun, that is a good one. The other ones are
sure,
whatever,
yeah. No, I'm with you. But that helped me get through my Jake jump in about 5 seconds.
Same.
Yeah, so I'm at like 1,000. I'm at like 140, points on that or something from all like one point stuff.
A contest that was suggested how many years ago? or how long
Yeah.
ago, and it's just over in a minute. Like,
Yeah,
all right,
I got it- I
easy,
got it
like
done in
10,
literally-
20 minutes.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was good. Got my badge for that. And I also, so I played some terrible visual novels. I played The Language of Love, and by played I mean I put it on skip and basically ran and finished the entire game. It got all the achievements in 3 minutes because it's a visual novel with no decisions to make. Turns out it's actually like
I was gonna say, what is the language of love?
I don't know, because they took all the porn out of the Xbox version of the game. Apparently, there's like apparently there's a bunch of porn at the end of the game for the PC version that they just didn't add.
So I'm guessing if I looked up this right now, this would be on Steam, 100% able to be accessed, but I can't get my goddamn Super Seducer free to.
Well, yeah, they released an adult patch for it that you can add to it like they usually do, because they're always a bit iffy about the stuff being on Steam. But it's all in there. I was like, wow, this seems like a weird visual novel. And I just looked it up. Yeah.
Complete sidetracked, and this is like a very minor story that I heard, I think, like last week.
I don't know if I want to hear about your story about minors and the language of love. I don't think that's appropriate.
There was a visual novel that did a Kickstarter, obviously around a more romantic quotation marks theme. That unfortunately PayPal, like, they paid all the Kickstarter money out to PayPal, and PayPal went, "No, this is against our TOS. We don't encourage this kind of stuff," and completely locked them out of their account with, like, I think 35,000, 40,000 in funds.
Lock them out? That's rude.
Yeah, locked them out completely, and it's just like, what are you doing? I'll find the story later. It was an interesting read, but it's like, who's in the right there? Like,
well,
look, let him clear out the funds, kick him out, and then whatever.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they'll work it out, because that's a lot of money to be held in limbo.
Yeah. But jeez.
Yeah, so I played The Language of Love, which was, I don't know, I just literally took 3 minutes to skip through all the text. I also played How to Take Your Mask Off Remastered.
Whoa. Wrong time of year. We just went into a lockdown. Wrong time.
Sure, you're right. Well, I didn't. That's fine. I've actually got some brand new masks sitting right here. That was I don't know what that was. I just followed the guide and got it done in 20 minutes. I also played C4 Dating, C84. I don't know what the fuck it was. C14 Data. Again, don't know what that was. Skipped through all of it. Followed the video guide. Got it done in 40 minutes. I also played Ladders. C14 Data, yeah. Like Ladders by Ladders. Yep.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah,
it was fun. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, I just used the guide for it anyway. I didn't care. So again, I've been playing nothing but trash, but the main thing I've been playing is what I was playing last week is Max Payne 3, the same, most of the same content over and over again. For those who don't know, they're shutting down the online servers for Max Payne 3 on the 360 on mid-September, September 16th, I think it was. So I have been rushing to get the last few online achievements that I needed. I've done all the other stuff, but all I have left to do is to hit level 50 basically, and then do a bit of co-op stuff. Hitting level 50 is a fucking grind. Looking at the TA guide for it, you need about 620,000 experience. And the fastest way to get experience is to do the score mode of a level. And if you finish the level with a platinum ranking, you get 1,000 experience. There's a level that you can do that's very short, takes about 2 to 3 minutes. You got to kill about, 20 enemies, and it's pretty short. Like, you can skip through it. You still have to do pretty well at it. Like, you actually have to build up a multiplier by not missing. So you can't just blindly run and shoot at everything. But I'm at level 36. So I've just passed the halfway point apparently. So I probably got another 300 runs of this to do. The game plays I enjoy how the game plays, but I'm really not looking forward to trying to do the harder difficulty modes, because it's just also kind of buggy and not super well optimized. Especially because it's not backwards compatible. I'm having to play this on the 360. It's ancient hardware. So it's a little bit of a nightmare. But Martel says I should have done it when the multiplayer was alive. Apparently it was very easy to top the leaderboards with dual SMG and heavy armor. Yeah, 100% right. Although apparently this boosting method only takes 30 to 40 hours as opposed to 80 hours, 80 to 100 doing it legit.
Our time machine's coming soon. We're trying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm going to get Homefront done before they close that down as well. Yeah, so I'm not having a great time with it, but I got really bored of it, so I ended up going and getting some of the other achievements that I was missing, which was getting a kill with each of the weapons. Turns out I was only missing like 2 of them, so that was quite easy. And then just doing some of the single player grinds. So they have these challenges that you basically get a certain amount of kills with weapons, or drop people, or shoot grenades out of the sky and that kind of stuff. I did those to get it. There was like a 100-point achievement that I was missing. Figured I'd just get it out of the way. I'd earned a lot of those grinds while doing the score attack run through. So that's been good. I'm gonna try and get it done. It's probably gonna take me another 2 weeks to do, but it's really been eating into my time of playing anything else, because I feel like every time I'm playing something else, I'm like, no, I should be working on this on Max Payne, because like I don't have a lot of time with it. And then after that, I'm gonna take a bit of a break from it. We'll do some GTA, and then I'll go back to it, because it is slowly burning me out. But anyway, that puts me at how much gamer score? 11,120 for this week, which is a lot more than usual, but all of that is trash.
So no def run when?
Yeah, so I don't think I'm going to be doing well. I mean, the New York Minute is actually it's a pain in the ass, but you only have to play through the game on medium difficulty, and you basically just have to do level by level. It's the New York Minute hardcore run, which is like on hardcore all the way through one single go, no stopping. That one is going to be the one that I'll never get, unfortunately. But I'm going to try and clean up as much as I can, just because it's there, and it's also been good for my completion percentage, just to sort of clean up some of those old achievements that I didn't think I was going to get.
You'll get to like a few games left, and then that will be the one that bugs you.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, Game Pass will just keep adding games, and you'll keep on playing them. But
well, yeah, I'm waiting to hear. I'm waiting to hear what the next thing leaving is. So if I have to validate it or not, I'm hoping not. But who knows, right?
Look at the spreadsheet that I sent you.
Yeah, I know, but that's only partially right. I want to see the official announcement.
Yeah, and then the 200-hour plus game will come under mine, and you'll be robbing yourself of an amazing experience. But anyway. That was a weird Pikaniku. That was such a weird game when I played that in Game Pass.
Charlotte's been playing that a lot. I played it a little bit, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
When I was doing Hall of Fame, it was just like, what am I doing? I've got no idea what this is.
It's a very strange game.
But anyway, moving along.
What have you been playing?
I'll get the Z updates out of the way. Pretty much been doing them. Did the Cruise Brothers updates. I've got to do the base game. Shout out I think it's DCF Studios, which is Games of Dane's the community manager of that one.
Oh yes.
So and they just added 1,000 title update. I think one achievement's broken in it after I did the first 1,000 title update.
Right.
And I was just poking, I was just sending a message just like, so you're working for a game studio and you just so happen to add another 1,000 G in as you're going for 1 million in this month.
Yeah, really helpful. Good timing.
And it was just like, all right, cool. All right. I'm going to go and work for a game dev. I'm going to convince them to add an achievement in that I can name, and that could be my 1 mil when I get there. But that I'm giving myself plenty of leeway. So, big shout out, Aftos84. Absolute been, I don't know how long we've been doing Halo runs now. Ever since he got really, really mad at me. Which is still, it's still that funny. So, basically, just fill everybody in. I wasn't thinking one night, and I was just like, all right, let's just help Aftos with all the achievements in Halo MCC. Little to my knowledge, though, we started one of the title updates that he didn't have any intention. Hi, Steven. He didn't have any intention of doing. So that started on his tag. So the goal at the moment is to get him to, well, his goal is 85%. I want him to get the full completion.
100%.
Which he's fighting back, fighting strongly against me on that. We did Halo 4 up until Forerunner. Completing Forerunner this week just gone, which is the fourth, depending on how you look at it, depending if you include cutscenes, mission in Halo 4 Legendary. Everything we're cruising up until Forerunner, and oh my god, Forerunner is just, it is rough. Very rough compared to the rest of Halo 4.
Yeah.
So, to give people an idea, we did Halo 4 Legendary, started from scratch at 7:30 that night, went up till 10:30, finished our Forerunner, and then we decided to call a night there. I decided, all right, cool, this is the perfect opportunity while it's fresh in my head to go through on Lone Wolf and just smash it out. I died in Forerunner 250 times.
Holy shit. That's
on Legendary Solo.
So you had to finish Legendary Solo, right?
Yeah,
That's
Legendary Solo is for Lone Wolf. So that took me, I want to say, 110 minutes, so just shy of 2 hours for that one level. The remaining 2 missions took me half an hour each.
Oh, there you go.
So I got it out of the way. I was quite happy with that, but I was just like, I need to just push it out of the way now that it's fresh in my mind. And I'm down to like, what, 21 achievements? I just need to sit down and get it done realistically.
Yeah, you just need to do it, yeah.
But 100%. the main thing that's caught my attention this week, I don't know, actually I do know. So I had Persephone last weekend, and we watched the Monsters Inc. TV show on Disney Plus. That is, honestly, if you loved Monsters Inc. as a kid, this is an amazing show. It has the same kind of heart, in my opinion. So we watched that, and then we were just browsing through Disney shows, and she loves like her Clubhouse Disney and all that. So I'm like, all right, cool. I really want to play a game right now. What can we do? Kingdom Hearts. Within like 5 seconds, I get like King Mickey and all that on the screen. She's loving it, and like Donald and Goofy, and she just, just enjoying it, and just watches me play for a little bit. I do the whole, all right, grab the second controller, give it to her. Wait, Dad, this doesn't light up. Why is this not working? So then
She's too smart for her own good.
So then I had to just keep on trying to just sneakily do it.
Aww.
But it was absolutely adorable. She was just sitting next to me. She was loving it, just pointing out like Mickey and Goofy and Donald. I'd originally gotten stuck at the Olympia level, just doing I think it was just trying against Hades was causing me a bit of grief.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason this week, I've just gone like full throttle in critical mode, smashed it out. I got my run of it done today, which got me the not skipping the cutscene at the end. Not skipping the cutscene at the end, I should say. The critical proud mode, a few of my journal entries, and now it's just basically going through and doing cleanup. Cool. I didn't realize 2 is very, I don't want to say easy in terms of difficulty. Like, it was very rewarding in terms of difficulty. But it doesn't have the bullshit achievements. It doesn't have the go through and use the starting weapon and shit
exactly.
Like that.
It's a lot more flexible in terms of what you can do. However, you still got a shitload of other stuff to do in 2 outside of just. You're gonna start a new playthrough on easy to clean up, or are you gonna do?
No, I'm just gonna. I'm on. So I found a really nice method to boost my level up. So when I was doing the land that never was, I think it's called.
Yeah.
It's suggested to be level 50. I boosted myself up to 61. So just to give myself a very nice barrier. And then just against Xemnas, that was a joke.
Yeah, Xemnas, I mean, the hardest fight in the game is the extra one they added in with Roxas with the twin keyblades. Like, holy shit, that is incredibly tough.
So
on critical, you just get smacked around.
That's what basically stopped me. And then it was just like, all right, I'm going to... the whole game, I've just been putting all my ability points into Sora, just making sure that I could do combos. Then I went back to the old mansion in Twilight Town just before you go to the land that never was. Equip the gold blade so you can get triple XP, and then just grinding out like that. But
it's a good way to do it.
Yeah, got myself up.
So are you going to do all the Organization 13 fights though? That's where it gets.
I did one of them today, and it was really easy. I think it was Zigbar.
Really, which one? Yeah, Zigbar's not too bad. Yeah,
but
there's some of them like Zoldan is like fucking.
To me, I'm probably going to get myself up to like level 90 and then just start going back through everything. I've done all the worlds now except for Winnie, and I just think treasures won't probably take me like half an hour to clean up. The only thing, because I originally played with 2, The only
Yes.
thing that's really confusing me is that hole in the wall in Hollow Bastion, which is the new endgame content.
Yeah, that's what I say. The oh, so you haven't been in there, right? You've never.
I've been in the entrance, but then you know how you. I'm assuming you have to glide through that bar area.
Yes, you need to do gliding, and yeah. There's a lot of different like little tricks you need to do in terms of like there's a lot like quite difficult platforming stuff, and then there's a lot of difficult stuff at the end of that too. So have fun with that. That's the really hard stuff.
Yeah, but I saw that. I used that to grind out a few levels, and I'm just like, this isn't consistent.
That's right. This ride would grind out basically there as well because you get a lot of stuff.
Those car enemies, they're the worst in the game, in my opinion.
Yep, 100% worst enemies in the whole game. I would go straight into master form and just blast the shit out of them as quickly as I can, or final form.
Yeah, I still haven't got to final form yet, but yeah, no, it's pretty much going to be cleanup duty for that. I've really been enjoying it. I'm really debating whether I need to finish off Halo MCC. I need to finish off Forza. Like they're so close.
Yeah, I would focus on those because again the big problem, and this is what I have with that Kingdom Hearts collection, is that it's a big fucking list across 4 different games. You have to do a lot of work. And because I rinsed 1 and 2 and I did everything in them, but I've been really struggling to get back into Chain of Memories.
I'm feeling good though because I've done the story playthrough for Chain of Memories. I'm doing most of the 2 now. Birth by Sleep's probably going to be the most jarring for me just because I've never played it before.
Yeah, and it was the same for me. I'd never played it, and like I really don't dig the having to play through it with 3 different characters and losing all your abilities each time, and whatever.
I mean, as soon as I can get that done though, then I can jump into the 2.8. But no, it's been really good. It's been very nostalgic. In terms of points, I end up with 7,690 for the week. Yeah, I don't know what else to say other than just Disney characters and Square properties. Like, just it's good. It keeps me entertained. It keeps my daughter entertained.
Be interested to see where they go next with the series because they're never done with it.
Yeah, I hope we don't have like such a large gap again.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we have a slightly more recent game. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. But yeah, saying that, Hall of Gamers leaderboard. So we made a leaderboard for this podcast, and we've been fortunate enough. We've had like 34 members now, including us, which is crazy. So if you want to get your friends involved too, all you need is like a TA account. You can either request it or send me a message, and I can send a request out for you. I'm the author of the leaderboard, so that's pretty easy in terms of that. I think I've been pretty quick on the ball in regards to it as well. But yeah, how do I want to say this first? I'll go third to first, yeah? So third we have A Gray, Gray Shark. I just want to point that out, Gray.
Yeah, he's very particular about that.
Yep, with 16,615 for the week.
It's a good amount.
Next we had Games of Dane, who is currently working on his 1 mil with 27,806. I must say, I put out a little post on Twitter today saying, does it really count if you don't hit it on the dot?
Yeah, exactly. If it's not on the dot, mate, you've got to start again.
And now I've got him worried. And then this last one, which is I'm gonna give this an attempt because this is gonna come out exactly like a XLAX Jester. KXRXUXEXGXEXR.
I think we can probably just say Kruger.
Is it Kruger? Or is it KXRXUX? It's Kruger. All right, cool.
I think it's Kruger, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, I needed to make sure. I needed to make 100% sure, but 45,480.
That's fucking insane.
I haven't checked his games yet, whether it's all Zidalons or if it's...
Of course it's all trash. There's no way you hit 45,000 in a week.
I don't want to give people the benefit of the doubt.
I'm not giving anyone any benefit of any doubt. Achievements have been devalued to the such that it's worse than the fucking Deutschmark back in fucking post World War One. This is ridiculous. Well, yeah, no, it's not quite Zimbabwe dollar levels yet, but it's getting.
Oh, jeez, Zimbabwe. Oh dear. All right. What was yeah, Todd's gonna go and have a look now. But yeah, look, if you want to end up on that leaderboard, just send us a request.
And then get good.
Yeah, and then get good. Then put up some real strong points. I think
Yeah, because we're apparently, you know, we run the show. We're apparently not showing up on that fucking leaderboard. So whatever.
I'll wait till the zip updates get fixed. It's just gonna be one person joining every week. That's just like, oh, look at the 10 Zidalon games that I did this week to get myself 50,000 points.
It's probably going to be Aftos or someone just making like another Aftos account with a new number on it just to pop a bunch of shitty games and just to get on top of the leaderboards. I know what he's like.
He'll use somebody else's account just to get the easy points.
Exactly.
What else was I gonna say? I just thought of it too. Like, I'm wondering if we should do a TA leaderboard down the track as well. Only because I'm like 10,000 off 1 mil.
Whatever. Gamer score is what we're right about here. TA is good, but yeah. As Affectious Donk has said, he's seen bigger. And fuck you too, Aftos. All right. I want to announce the return, and I should have done this in the housekeeping. I want to announce the return of the real for the Hall of Gamers Word Challenge, which I have been slaving away trying to figure out how the fuck it used to work when we were doing RGS.
In all fairness, I said, all right, here's these 15 things I'm working on today. You take this one thing.
You gave me like 3 things, and okay. I offered to do more of them. To be fair, I don't want to be fucking labeled as some slacker. All right. I said, hey, is there anything I can help with?
I'm a perfectionist.
And you were like, hey, can you go and get the Holy Grail? Can you cure cancer and also try and work out this word challenge thing? So I've worked out how the word challenge works, and I've set up a new game that's going to be in there, and we're starting the challenge again for those who weren't fans of RGS. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Wait, weren't fans? Like, that just sounded so hateful.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. They're wrong. If you don't know what the word challenge is, basically, we come up with a usually obscure game that you have to guess in our Discord channel. We have a on Discord, discord.io/GPNGG, as we said. And you basically have to guess what the game is in the word challenge channel. And basically all you have to do is you have to put the game exactly in there. There's slow mode on there, so you can't spam it. Make sure you only put one game in there at a time, otherwise it won't trigger. I've set up a bot that when someone types in the correct game, will trigger a GIF. And if you get that GIF, you win the prize. And each week, or maybe every 2 weeks, we haven't quite decided yet, we're going to give out a clue. And every clue that we give out is going to boost the prize by $10. So starting right now, we have it's $10, and the clue is this game has a musical. It's tangentially related to music, or it's well, I don't know. It's got music is involved in this game. Music is part of this. No, you're already mucking this up. You just say one word like Kirby, and then you leave it like that, and then you move on. Sure, we'll say okay. Music is the clue. Music. So if you're Jay Black, for example, and you already know what it is because you're a fucking clairvoyant son of a bitch, you can go put it in there straight away and win your $10. Or you can wait till next week or the week after, depending on how often we do the clues. So the next clue comes out and win $20.
Is it bad that I think I know it?
I fucking hope not. You can confirm with me afterwards. Right. Also, Cameron can't win this. I'm not letting him. We used to let staff do it. I'm not letting Cameron win this.
No, you gotta let staff win it, because then we end up in a great week like you winning all, like doing free runs of the.
Oh, yeah, of course. That's a very good point. But obviously, if you're listening to the live stream, you'll get this clue earlier. If you're listening to this recorded, well, you better be quick because people are going to be guessing.
So if that is an incentive to come and listen to the live streams, which will most often be 6:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Oh, sorry, Australian Eastern Standard Time, or 8:30 New Zealand time, or you guys can figure it out. I don't know the other ones.
It's fine. Use a fucking converter. It's the 21st century. All right. Use Google. Figure it out. We do the show pretty much at the same time every week. Yeah. Basically, the clue is music. I will eventually probably put the clues in the chat itself, but I want to give people who listen to the show, a bit of a heads up, rather than just letting every Tom, Dick, and Harry start guessing. Because we've had people who don't listen to the show very much get it in the past, and I don't want to give them too much away. But yes, as I mentioned, and as Charlotte has reminded me again, make sure you put one guess per line. Otherwise, it won't trigger it, and you won't know if you got it or not. So it is on slow mode, so you can't spam it. But
I made sure to tell you that because I was just like,
yep,
this
no,
is a disaster waiting to happen.
No, exactly. So it's all in there. But give it your best shot. I'll be very interested to see if anyone gets it. I've also chosen a slightly funny gift for it because I'm a comedian. All right. Do we have any questions? I don't think we have any questions.
I saw Todd asked before, what's the hardest game that we've ever done? And I've been trying to think to what that would be.
Probably Dark Souls 2.
Oh, that's a good one. Let me just check my TA. You got any others?
Probably No, I mean, like the Dark Souls series is not like traditionally super hard. I know there's that sort of thing about like how difficult it is, but I know some people come out of the woodwork being like, stop being such a scrub. Those games are easy. But like, Dark Souls 2 is probably one of the more challenging ones. In terms of other games, like I don't tend to play hard games because I am a scrub. Is really the honest truth of it.
Stick away from
yeah, well, like they usually have games. They usually have an achievement in there that I'm like, wow, I'm never going to be able to get that. That's bullshit. I don't know, even my highest ratio completions.
See, this is the hard thing too, because I wouldn't say like Forza Horizon. You know, if I asked you, you would say Forza Horizon 4 is like absolutely hard. I never want to start it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's difficult for me because I'm not very good at driving games. It's not my.
Whereas to me, it's just a grindy game. Like it's just.
Yeah.
I find it easy. I just find it very like. Forza to me is chuck on a podcast, drive around in circles, have fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Halo MCC. I mean, when I get it done, is probably going to be one.
Mm-hmm.
I see. That's the thing. I can't say Overwatch because Overwatch was just done in an easy boosting lobby.
Yeah, I wouldn't put any multiplayer games in this category basically because multiplayer games aren't difficult in that sense. It's more to do with like the actual single player stuff.
Maybe stuff like Rise, Son of Rome.
Yeah, that's somewhat challenging.
Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Angry Birds Classic is probably my hardest game that I've completed.
Like everything I'm seeing in this list that is like somewhat high for TA for me is like they're not difficult.
Yeah, they're just grindy for the most part.
Like Remnant was a challenge, but it wasn't.
Remnant was challenged, but it wasn't that difficult. Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
And I think it's better too working in a group of people. Oh god, this is gonna sound so hypocritical sometimes, but like actually playing with you and Brad though, out of us three, I'm probably the most level-headed.
Probably.
I would say probably because when you get angry, you get very tilted.
Oh, absolutely. I get massively on tilt. I know what my hardest game is probably Fear, the original Fear. Just because it's fucking bullshit on the highest difficulty.
People need to stop telling me about horror games because it just makes me want to go back and play Resident Evil and Fear and all these.
You should. They're all great games. Yeah.
I think next year I'm just gonna focus on trying to get high in the horror leaderboards.
Yeah.
But what? I'm waiting for the Xenocrisis joke.
He doesn't have to make the joke. You've already done it for him.
What is my hardest game?
It's probably Paw Patrol. The culling is a very hard game. It's a hard game to stomach.
Why don't you just meet me in the middle? I love those boosting sessions. It's got to be one of my favorites. Just singing that to people, and then just like it got to the point like five sessions. It's just like, all right, cool. We can't beat him. We may as well join him.
Yeah, there you go. Right.
Yeah, the culling.
One of the ones I had probably the most trouble with was Soul Calibur 5. I'm only talking about games I've fully completed here, but Soul Calibur 5, I'm really bad at fighting games, and you had to get pretty good or pretty cheesy at a lot of that stuff. So I got very, very fucking cheesy, but I just don't have the skill for fighting games, and I've got about 4 or 5 of them left on my tag that I need to finish, and it's just they'll be there forever, unfortunately.
Like PUBG is another one, but I feel like that. When the boss got out, it was just completely easy.
Yeah.
Overcooked 2. It's another one that I find. I think me and Kobe did most of that together. It was relatively easy, but it still has like 7,254.
Mm.
But that might just be bumped up from its updates.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like ratio is not necessarily an indicator of skill or difficulty. It's just rareness, basically. So take it all with a grain of salt.
Crackdown 3 is still pretty high up for us. We did that together.
Yeah, that's fucking easy as shit.
Yeah. People just played it for like 5 minutes, realized what it was, and just like
it was trash. Yeah,
I didn't mind it. It just felt like an upscaled 360 game. In all honesty,
pretty much, it very much did. It felt like a very 360 game. Like Game Pass is perfect for that. But yeah, no, I don't see any more questions. But if you do want to send us questions, you can do on the Discord. We've got the Discord. We have a dedicated channel for it under the Hall of Gamers section, where you can add questions that we'll answer on the show, as well as being in the chat here. Live while we're recording. We're happy we're reading the chat over the show, as you guys have probably heard. So
I was gonna say, is that
possible.
Todd offering you to buy your microphone too?
I hope so. That'd be nice. Yeah, I'll ask him. Or maybe he wants me to buy him a microphone. The greedy cunt. All right, let's wrap up the show. So if you want to get in contact with us, you can get in contact with us on Discord, discord.io/GPNGG. I've shouted it out 3 times now. It's our new Discord where we've got a whole channel set up for the show itself, for the competitions, for questions, and for our patrons, along with there are a bunch of general GPN channels in there about, the regular stuff that we had over at RGS in terms of funny stuff and memes and some cute stuff and pets and food and all kinds of things. And if there isn't a channel for something and you got a big enough following to do it, I will add it for you if you ask nicely. Otherwise, you can follow us on Twitter at GPN Hall of Gamers, GPN Hall of Gamers, all one word, obviously, where you can see all of our latest updates and Cameron's quality memes and questions. And if you want to email us, gpnhallofgamers@gmail.com for now. That might update in the future, but that's what we're going to be using for now. Again, you can send questions there too.
Yeah.
As we said, we're going to have
just for Isaac, yes? Yeah? Just for Isaac.
Just for Isaac, because he, for some reason, hates using the Discord. And we know we missed out putting an audio episode version out for you guys last week, so we're definitely going to be pushing this out to our new stream shortly. Yeah.
I don't know if that will immediately go up, but we'll
let you guys know where it's at, and if it isn't somewhere, just let us know, and we'll see if we can fix it, because it is. This is all brand new for us in terms of managing that from ground zero.
We're on our own now. We're learning.
Mm-hmm. We're
young chickens in this game.
If you'd like to be on the show as a guest, or you have some suggestions for guests, we're happy to take those. The best place to get a hold of us is on the Discord or on the emails. We've got a bit of a wait list. We're going to try and get some of the other GPN big wigs on and talk to them about their gaming history and what they're going to be doing at GPN and that kind of stuff before the site launches. But let us know, because we definitely want to have as many of you on as possible, because we love our community and we love talking about video games and just shooting the shit and just learning more about what makes people tick and why they play video games.
100%.
So Cameron, if people wanted to find you, where would they need to look?
So if you want to find me, you can pretty much find me on TA, Twitter. I just had this up. TA, Twitter, or Xbox. Shadowless Edge. It either has a space in it or it doesn't. That's pretty... And just goddamn name verification.
Yep. Just too many people. Yeah.
Just can't use spaces for things. God damn it.
Yeah, it's really annoying. And if you want to find me, you can find me Neomaster 2005 on Twitter if you want for some reason. But the best place to find me is on TA, Discord, or Xbox, just under Neomaster. Yeah. Also, I just want to give a shout out to Carl Casey at Whitebat Audio for some of the music that they've been providing for the royalty-free music that we've been taking and using for some of the backing stuff. Tell us what you think. We're probably going to switch it up a little bit. I'm a big fan of the synthwave, but I want to get some feedback from the people who actually have to listen to it, because we can't hear it. All right. Well, is there anything else you wanted to add, Cameron?
The only thing is, I was going to say, whilst still some people are hanging around, we might do a raid on another friend of ours that we made through GPN that does his own podcast called Hack the Dino.
Hack the Dino. This great podcast. We highly recommend it.
So I'm just going to figure out how to do that again.
All right. Well, that's good. I'm glad you had that ready to go, Cameron.
Hack the dino. Does that? No, that does. How? God damn it!
All right. Well,
all right. I figured it out. I think I.
All right. Do you want me to sign off first before you? All right. Well.
All right. Is that working, or can you hear me?
I mean, I don't know if they can hear us now because you just raided them, right?
I don't know.
Check our stream.
Why did that bump that down? Of course. Sorry.
What happened?
It's just... Give me 2 seconds. Alright, it just minimized zoom for whatever reason. Out of all that.
Oh.
That was great.
All right.
What have I done?
Yeah. So yes, we'll end the show here, and then we'll raid Hike the Dino because we're big fans of their show, and Ben and the team have been doing some great stuff, and we're hoping to do more work with them and GPN.
Yep.
But thanks everyone for tuning in for episode 1 of Hall of Gamers. We will catch you guys next week.
Peace. I'll try not to break things in the future.
Yeah. Awesome.
Stop streaming.